What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Let's Play Hiveswap Friendsim for the third time. My third playthrough of Hiveswap Friendsim. It was just instead of playing by myself or sending photos to a friend, I'm making a commentary YouTube series out of it. This is the second to last episode, if you can believe it. Holy shit. This will be like the first ever YouTube series I've completed, and that's super exciting. Potential spoiler warning for the rest of this game: Pesterquest, Homestuck proper, Hiveswap. I still haven't finished Act 2. I just haven't got it. I've been playing so much Stardew Valley. I fell back in love with Stardew Valley. Why haven't you streamed, you may ask? And that's because I'm a disaster of a person. Character voices may be inconsistent, as per usual. I don't have my intro pulled up, can you tell? So today is one of the most convoluted routes in the game. Let's meet those twin clowns. I also have tea this time. If you hear me coughing, it's not COVID. I don't have the symptoms. I just have a weird dry cough. It's black tea with sugar. I didn't take a sip. That was too hot. Anyways, twin clown time. You crash-landed onto a planet called Alternia. You staggered from the wreckage of your ship. You were desperate for information, for provisions, and possibly a bit of medical attention, but most of all, you were desperate for friendship, is what you could say, if you were written by a bunch of hacks who cared about the Aristotelian idea of narrative unity. Possibly you could make some reference to a circle being complete in a thoughtless and imbecilic manner. We're all in this together, right? And we've all learned and grown enough to know that there's something deep and dark and absurd brewing beneath the surface. This isn't really about friendship anymore, is it? You've got enough friends, now you need answers, you need... Oh, god damn it. This was just the intro screen. Hey, I'm having a thought real quick while I have you here on the intro screen, while I have you here with these small clouds. Never mind. I'll get to it after we get a bed ending. You've gotten pretty good at the old friend-making game by now, but even an old hand at palling around like you, a real platonic Lothario, has bad nights sometimes. Tonight was one of those nights. It's getting close to morning and not a new friend in sight. You'd met new people, sure, but none of your conversations had panned out the way you wanted them to. Every interaction had come to a close with your friend count no higher than when you'd started, no matter how many compliments, offers to help, and other tried and true friending strategies you'd whipped out. You won't stand for it. You're determined to finish out the night with at least one more new buddy's name in your little black friendship book, but the sun's about to rise, you have to admit you're cutting it a little close. As each minute ticks by, the sky gets a little lighter, and the possibility of dying in an agonizing, fiery death gets higher. Maybe it'd be best for you to just pack it in and find somewhere to spend the day. Pick up your trusty palm husk and call up one of the many friends you already have to ask if you can crash. Hell, maybe Skyla will be up for sharing Rakupakun again. The soothing news has kind of grown on you, and sleeping next to Skyla always makes you feel so comfy and safe. It's because she has magic cowgirl powers. You think Skyla would like tea? I took the tiniest possible sip of that. Oh, actually, I'll be right. You know what? I always attempt to call you listeners. I don't have a face cam. I'll be right back with some water. I'm back with water. Turns out Skyla is more than down with you coming over. Down to make tracks. You turn tail and hurry in the direction of Skyla's digs, but it's not long until you run into a distraction. That distraction is in the form of a house. It's a dark, crooked thing hulking close to the ground. Slatted wood walls, sloping roofs, vines cling to it like dust, and cobwebs cling to forgotten things in the attic. Something about it feels off. It possesses a certain energy that sends shivers up your spine, making your hair stand on end. An instinct deep in your gut is telling you to give it a wide berth. On the other hand, it's shelter. Skyla's place is a ways off yet, while the house is right here in front of you. It could be worth seeing if whoever lives here is willing to put up with you for the day. No fucking way. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Didn't you just establish that this place gives you the heebiest of jeebies? Plus, there's always a chance that the inhabitant will kill you instead of help you. You're sticking to your original plan. Thank you very much. Firmly ignoring the house, you continue on your way. You make good progress for a while. Your maps app says your head's in the right direction, except... Oh, what the fuck? Why are you here again? Did you take a wrong turn somewhere? Whatever. You're not going to dwell on it. Time is running out, and you need to get away from this stupid house pronto. You'll make sure to do it right. This time you'll go... right. Okay, you split, breaking into a jog. The scenery flips past you as you pick up on the pace. Urgency spurring you on. It's getting even lighter won't be long now. What? You check your palm husk again. You're right back where you started, even though just a moment ago, the map's GPS put you a decent distance away. This is ridiculous. There's obviously something weird going on, but the suns are creeping over the horizon. Does Alternia have two suns? Sorry, I'm on the wiki now. Oh. Alternia has one sun. Why is it referencing multiple suns? This is not a typo. That's happened a couple times now. Whack. Time's up. There's nothing else for it. You make your way towards the house. Even though everything inside is screaming at you to stay away. Even though with every step you take, your chest tightens and your hands tremble. By the time you reach the door, you are shaking like a leaf. Adrenaline sings through you. You could choke on it. You bite to run, but you force yourself to keep moving forward. It's a slow-motion race between you and the sunrise. At this rate, the suns will make it all the way into the sky before you can even knock. You drag yourself the rest of the way, stumbling onto the front step. The door knocker is an intricate yet grotesque thing, all undulating tongue rolling out of a set of sharp teeth, all in cast iron. You grab the lumpy end of the tongue and bang it against the door. Nothing. Fuck. Maybe you'll get lucky and the door will be open. Out of options, you reach out and turn the doorknob. You can feel the first licks of sunlight against the back of your neck. Is it just you, or is your skin starting to blister? But today's your lucky day. The door opens. You should feel overjoyed at your life being spared. Instead, your focus is fully on how the roiling in your belly has bloomed fully into nausea. In the distance, inexplicably, is the peal of sirens, an insistent whining noise that only continues getting louder. You shouldn't have come here, but it's not like you had another choice. You might as well see what awaits you inside, but as soon as you cross the threshold, the world lurches and you pass out. Oh, wait. I think... Do those go to this... do those go to the same place? Higher data. What if I just saved over Link's face? I'm saving over his face. I've saved over his face. Let's... We're gonna skip past the intro, because I don't want to read that again. Do those go... Let's approach the house. There's nothing else for it. You make your way towards the house. Even though everything inside you is screaming at you to stay away. Even though with every step you take, your chest tightens and your hands tremble. By the time you reach the door, you are shaking like a leaf. Adrenaline zings through you. You could choke on it. You want to run, but you force yourself to keep moving forward. It's a slow-motion race between you and the sunrise. At this rate, the suns will make it all the way into the sky before you can even knock. You drag yourself the rest of the way, stumbling onto the front step. The door knocker isn't... Okay. No, yeah, this is the same thing. Okay. So we passed out. You come to in a different room than the foyer, head ringing like someone just whacked it. When you move to sit up, there's the sound of skittering all around you, like hundreds of tiny insects are scurrying away to safety. Had they been roving in the floor while you were knocked out? Gross. Sorry, I like to order food when no one's here when I'm recording, so. You prop yourself back on your hands and take a look around. Your impromptu nap has done nothing to assuage the deep sense of wrongness you have about this place. Because it's a haunted mansion, and there's so many twists and turns. My tea is still hot, but cool enough to drink. That's why I was like, this fucking route has so many twists that just go to the same place. I'm not going to do all of them. I just wanted to check that first one. I'm not going to go back and do left instead of right. Just because this video is already going to be long enough. Hey, maybe you managed to sleep through the day. Maybe the sun is set again, so you can get the hell out of here. This sense of optimism is misplaced, probably, but it's not as if you can check. There are no windows. It's like going to my local anime convention. My local anime convention is in a hotel casino. Yes, those are things, hotel casinos. If you've never seen one before. So there's no windows in most of the con area. Because casinos don't tend to have windows, except for like in the front. So if you go to... And I haven't been in one in a while because of everything going on. But the two that the convention I go to has been in, they tend to have windows towards the front. So like the front door, there's another one in town. The con's not at that one, but they have an arcade. They have some windows in the arcade. But the second you get into any of the ballroom areas, of course the slot machines, anything really deeper than that front row, like the front entrances will usually have windows. Like they usually have like glass doors, really nice setups. Once you get any deeper than that, you do tend to lose access to windows. Fun fact. You cast your eyes around the room. Underneath the floral peeling wallpaper, the walls are riddled with damp and mold. And on the other side of the room, an open door. Think fuck. You aren't locked in then. You can go look for somewhere else in this place that might have got a damn window. Wait, might have a goddamn window. It's the clown hallway. Oh man, I'm recording it. Oh no. I'm recording this a couple days after the last Unraveled. It's the 31st. Happy New Year's Eve, even though you'll be seeing this in New Year's. What's tomorrow? Shit. But Brian David Gilbert just announced that he's leaving Polygon. He posted Lost Unraveled, and I'm thinking about the sad clown hallway. This is a sad clown hallway. I mean, they look happy, but maybe they're sad. I don't know. Clowns are weird. You step into a long, winding corridor. It's so cramped you feel almost as though the walls are closing in. While having warm enough outside, in here a deep chill settles over you, sinking deep into your bones. You're half convinced you'll never be warm again. Emitting from somewhere you can't see is music, tinny and rhythmic. It's soon interrupted by a crackling noise like someone trying to tune into the correct station on a radio. Then one of the picture frames lights up. Looks like it was actually some sort of TV screen. Wait, which twin is which? Fuck. So that's Barzum. Barzum is left twin, and Baizli is Basil. Basil? Basil. Baizli? Baizli is right twin in this case. I think they might actually switch places. Also, I know they speak at the same time, but I can't do that, and I have to edit this in one night to get it out by 9:30 tomorrow morning. So, welcome. We're glad that you're awake and that you came to visit us. We've been really, 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 really bored in this sticky old house. It really sucked. We could have just died from how boring it was. Two voices, one monotonous and so quiet you can barely hear it. The other shrill, dramatic, like its owner never learned the meaning of the words indoor voice. Catching what the quieter person is saying isn't made any easier by the high-pitched giggling that starts up in the background whenever they start speaking. So hurry up and find us. We want to play a game. Gee, why do those words give you such a profound sense of deja vu? I've never seen The Shining. I don't like horror movies. The line goes dead. At the same time, a door pops open at the other end of the corridor. You're meant to go through it, yes. You'd rather go somewhere else. Anywhere else. Other than through that door, but there's nowhere else to go. Or is there? Search for another exit. No, there has to be something else here. Ignoring the voice's instructions, you examine the walls of the corridor instead. Soon enough, you notice something funny about one of the paintings. Its frame seems much thicker than the others, which strikes you as somehow suspicious. Whoops. Feeling along its bottom edge reveals a button. You push it, there's a groaning sound, and part of the wall folds itself away, revealing a tunnel of some sort. Ha! You knew it! You're so focused on trying to make your escape that you rush through the opening without looking. If you'd been more careful, you might have noticed one very important thing. Past this doorway, there is no floor. My tea is finally warm. Your feet meet thin air, sending you pitching downwards. Drat, you think, as you plunge toward the pit of knives beneath you. You reached a follower milestone in Shitter the other day, too, and you hadn't got around to bequeathing it to any of your friends in case something like this happened. Your final regretful thoughts of your account, dusty and abandoned, with no one there to continue to update it after you're gone. We're falling into a pit of knives and dying. I had a thought just a second ago. Okay. It is currently Thursday, December 31st. I am hoping to record this episode and the Doc Scratch episode today so that I can get this one out by tomorrow and the Doc Scratch out one by next week. I know I said I was going to do a read-through of the Nikki flash forwards. I'm probably still going to do that, but I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break before I do the Hiveswap. Probably no more than like a week. So, I can do some stuff. Prep how I want to do Pesterquest. I think I might change around some of the format. I think I already talked about how I want to change how I do the trigger warnings, because Pesterquest provides trigger warnings. So I will be sure to open those up beforehand, and let you know. I just gotta figure some stuff out for Pesterquest, basically. I think I'm gonna change the format a little bit, just to make it a little bit easier, and also not pressure myself so much to add extra jokes in the editing. Because I was doing that for a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed, some of the latter half of the series had a lot of extra jokes. And sometimes coming up with funny content is hard. I could have talked about this in the Doc Scratch episode, but anyways, let's get on to the other one. Haha. We're going to approach the door. Oh, fun. Now there's blood everywhere. Your awareness only intensifies once you set off down the hall, because the walls start fucking bleeding. You've seen enough troll blood at this point to be able to recognize it. Multicolored streams ooze over the wallpaper, and faded portraits line the wall, collecting and congealing in sticky, viscous puddles on the floor. The narrow hallway becomes steeped in the stench of copper. You walk faster, but the streams of blood follow you, sluicing down from the ceiling as quickly as you walk. You reach the door, eager to get away from the grisly sight. You throw it open, but oh god, you hadn't considered what might be waiting for you behind it. What if these two shady characters plan to torture you, tie you up, and steal your palm husks, texting embarrassing messages to your friends while you can only look on in horror, helpless and unable to intervene? Anything but that. No, we're just getting regular tortured. It's too dark to see anything. All you can do is fumble and feel around with your hands. Getting out of the room, and again, is a no-go. The door swung shut behind you as soon as you stepped inside. I put lots of sugar in my tea. Partially because I just let the tea bag sit in there. You shuffle forward on wobbly legs. The floor feels unstable somehow, like it's going to open up and swallow you at any moment. Would it be a good idea to call out and see if anyone's here? You manage a feeble, hello? Your voice echoes. Soft laughter reverberates back in response. You catch a glimpse of something from the corner of your eye, a flash of purple. There's a sensation in the back of your eye, of eyes in the back of your neck, watching you, but you can't discern where the other presence in the room is. If there even is one. You kind of hate this. All the shitty welcomes you've received, this one takes the cake. You have to get out of here. You try to gather your panic thoughts together to formulate a plan, but before you could do anything, a series of roads appear seemingly from nowhere, coiling tight around you and holding you down. You're finally here. We've been waiting for you. A light comes on. It's not the warm, burning rays of sunlight, though this room is windowless too, but a spotlight, bright and harsh. It lights up a broad swath of the room, bleaching it white and sending long shadows stretching away from it. Hey guys. Let's, Anyway, that was clowns. Sorry. I just like this song. I think James Roach really did go off. You can see your captors more clearly now. 2 purple blood kids. Aside from their expressions, they look exactly the same. A manic glint sparkles in the eye of one of them, as sharp as his razor blade grin. The other looks more hesitant, almost sad. They do look identical, except for their eyebrows. We're Baizli. And Barzum. You're the alien, ain't you? You look weird. Your body's real weird. We wonder what color your blood is. How springy and slimy your acid tubes are. They squirm around like slither beasts when we slice open trolls' bellies. And are yours the same? You struggle against your bonds. You have no idea what acid tubes are, but you'd much rather they stay inside your body where they belong. Thanks. They're intestines. Fun fact. I feel like it's one of those words that's more I was about to say troll words tend to be self-evident. They don't, but this one is, I think. You thought you'd move past the days where you had to serve as a torture muppet. All you needed was a few hours shelter from the sun, and if it's safe to go outside again, you'd really like to leave. That was the wrong thing to say, apparently. The twins leer at you disapprovingly. Well, one of them looks so disappointed he might burst into tears. The other one just looks pissed. No way! We told you. We've been so bored. Do you know what it's like to be all alone with no one else to play with? For wipes. We might have each other. We're never truly alone. But that's what makes being us so great. But it's a little difficult to play pranks on someone who already knows what you're thinking and feeling. Wait, you thought Barzum was the quiet one and Baizli the loud one, but it looks like you were just mistaken? Or did they switch? If you weren't faced with the prospect of having your innards yanked out and played with by bloodthirsty children, you might be more puzzled by their statement. As it stands, you have more pressing problems on your mind right now, so their words more or less fly over your head. You squirm harder even though it doesn't do any good. In fact, it just seems to make the twins madder? Sadder? You settle on smatter. Stop trying to get away. It's always like this. Nobody ever wants to play with us. We hate it. Now hold still. You look at them beseechingly, trying to appear as small and helpless as possible. Maybe it's a little pathetic giving puppy dog eyes to literal children, but you've lost track of your dignity a long time ago. They're not really gonna do this, right? A noise starts up. It sounds suspiciously like a chainsaw. And is it just you, or is there the scent of raw meat in the air? Where the hell is it coming from? You can hear it straining in your bonds, stomach clenching in fear, bile rising at the back of your throat. They're not actually going to hurt you, right? Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh. You wake up, gasping, but you aren't strapped down anymore. You're in the same room that you were in at the beginning. What happened? Time loops. Actually, the time players, join me, watchers, reader, listeners. So Baizli, wait, give me a second. Sorry, some of the phrasing on the wiki was weird. It implied that Baizli was fucking dead, but no. So they're not time players. Baizli is the hero of doom. Barzum is hero of breath, and they're both Earth streamers. The room hasn't changed since you've been gone. There's still only one way out. You really, really don't want to step through the door again. But what else can you do? You step through the door. There's that radio crackling again. Welcome. Welcome. We're glad that you're awake. Their little greeting goes on just like I had before. Pre-recorded message, maybe? Your heart pounds as you step through the second door. You're hoping you'll be able to sidestep the ropes this time, but instead of getting tied up, you trip forward into a vat of what feels like glue. You were lucky enough to have turned your face away from the stickiness, so your nose is still above the surface, so you can breathe. For now, anyway, but you can't move. You're finally here. We've been waiting for you. They're acting like it was the first time all over again. What is this fuckery? Are they messing with you? You met already mere minutes ago. No, we would have remembered. Meaning a weirdo like you. Stop trying to trick us. Then everything goes black for a third time. And here you are again. I'm choking on my tea. Fuck. Welcome. Welcome. Are you for real? Time loops. Sorry, I have a thought I'm going to tell you after this bad ending. This time you get shoved into a box. You're pretty sure you pass out while you're in the middle of being getting buried alive. You come to in the room you're beginning to think of as yours, yet again. You can pass out 5 times, 10. You begin to lose count. You never pass out at the same point during the twins' shenanigans, but it inevitably happens. And you always end up right back where you started. The worst part is that while your conversation with the twin is still the same, the way they trap you changes. You get trussed upside down from the ceiling, dunked into a water tank, scrabbling to get out while your lungs begin to burn from lack of air. Every time you black out before you can die, but you've almost died dozens of times by now, and it's really beginning to stress you out. You have to be stuck in some sort of time loop. You see this sort of thing in movies all the time, and everyone knows that movies are the best points of reference for one's actual life. See, okay. I think I've talked about this before. I'm not really a movie person. I'm terrible at sitting through movies. I don't like a lot of the movies that come out, like the ones in theater. I'm sure there's movies out there that I would enjoy, but a lot of the ones that come out are in theaters and stuff, I'm just not super interested in. So, I also have shit memory, so there's probably movies I've seen and just forgotten. So I don't actually really... Have I seen any time loop movies in their entirety? I've seen pieces of a bunch of them. I don't know. The hero wakes up to the strains of an old pop song playing on the radio and reminisces over their childhood journals, which sends them back in time where they have to stop a crime before it happens. Or maybe you're thinking of a different movie. Anyway, your point is that you have to find a way out of the loop. Hopefully you won't have to do anything too wild like stab your past self and then throw your own bloody corpse out of the window. That would really, really blow. Unfortunately, you can't seem to find any clues indicating what you should do next. You always pass out. The twins are always excited to play with/torture you. they don't seem to be aware that any of this is happening, from what you can tell. Or after around 20-something or other, you've had it. Enough is enough. You can't take any more giggling, any more sound of that hard, damp floor, any more excruciating games. You might not be any closer to figuring out what to do, but you have to try something. Fuck this. We're trying fuck this. There is one thing you've been doing wrong. Appealing to the twins to let you go. All they seem to care about is torturing you. Of course, simply asking them for your freedom isn't going to work. You'll do things differently this time. If you want to escape, you'll have to go on the offensive. You wake up again. Disembodied voices, blinking walls, game, check. You head towards the twins' room. Stand back, you yell before they can launch into their tirade. You're a weird, scary alien with weird, scary alien superpowers, and you're not afraid to use them. You switch on your phone's torch app, waving it around. You even attempt an intimidating roar for added effect. The person who wrote this route was British. The only superpowers you're aware of is your irresistible charm and a set of truly banging gams, but they don't need to know that. Your gambit works. They don't cower in fear exactly, but they're bamboozled enough for you to look frantically around the room as much as you can with your paltry light source. There, an air vent with a loose grill. Sorry, I was opening back up my recording software. With a desperate yell, you launch yourself up toward it and crawl inside. The twins, finally aware that this is all just an elaborate ruse, start shouting after you. The twins' indignant voices start to fade as you wriggle deeper into the dusty guts of the house. You can't have very long. It's only a matter of time until the diminutive terrors climb into the vents after you. Unless they would so get stuck on... Yeah, they got their masks, and their masks have tall as shit horns. Maybe they'll run ahead and then cut you off via one of the other rooms that the vent's connected to. They must know how it lays out the house better than you do. Much to your surprise, though, you re-emerge at one of the outside walls with no trouble. It's dusk, not day, for which you mutter a quick thank you to your merciful overlords. From here, it's a simple matter of picking your way down the vines until you get to the bottom. Once your feet touch the ground, you start running. When you cast one last wild glance back over your shoulder, you catch sight of them, your captors, who you've successfully hoodwinked. They're standing in the grand front doorway, screaming. You have no idea why they aren't coming after you, but you don't question it, pumping your legs until they're burning. It's a good thing you spent all that time jogging with Stelsa. You've really gotten good at running away from your problems. You stop running once you can't see the house anymore. You're a little surprised that getting away turned out to be that simple, but you know better than to look a gift hoofbeast in the squat keeper. That's not... Still, relief floods through you in waves. You did it! You got away! You slow down to a leisurely walking pace, pulling out your phone as you go. You have a slew of texts from Skylar, who'd been wondering what happened to you after you'd never turned up. Her invitation to come over and hang out still stands, though. Oh boy, you can't wait to finally make your way over there and chill with her. I want to chill with Skylar. You never placed favorites among your pals, but you have to admit that you hold a particular fondness for Skyla. Her whole thing, where she always makes sure not to cause you any bodily harm, it definitely has its charms. You keep walking, but after a while your stomach starts to sink. It's been half an hour, and your surroundings don't look any different. You should be closer to Skyla's neck of the woods by now. It's not until you catch sight of a weathered wall all wound with ivy that you realize what's going on. It's the house again. You're still stuck. You're not going to be able to leave its grounds no matter how much you walk. You might have escaped the house, but whatever curse or time-space witchcraft this is isn't confined to within those walls. You're in a pocket dimension of some sort, and you don't know how to break out. So now you can either return to the twins, since they're your only company you have out here, or make these bushes your new friends. You look dolefully out at the miles of scraggy underbrush before you. Probably best get used to gazing at nothing but this, since it's all you're going to be seeing for a long, long time. Forever lost. Look at all these rolling hills. I love the green sky. I think the green sky is very good in this one. Oh, here's a cool, hey, what's up? It's time for Opal to promo their work because they've put a lot of time and effort into writing 47,000 words of Homestuck fanfiction, which is continuing to grow. And hey reader, there's even 24,000 of those words are available to read right now. Anyway, actually, and here's a reason you should join the Discord if you like my fic. Sometimes I post cool things, like how I'm going to give Carcat tattoos, and possibly Rose, and maybe some other people. Because I think tattoos, right, when you have a character with wings and you put a tattoo right between those wings, that's beautiful, good shit. Oh, and I have another Pesterquest thought that I will share at the end of the episode. Because now we have to remember who you are. There's one thing you've been doing wrong, making this all about escape. You've been so preoccupied with not getting sliced to pieces with knives and everything that you've lost track of what's truly important. The word that echoes in your heart when you rise at dusk and pulses through your bloodstreams during the rest of your waking hours until it's time to go to sleep. The word that's kicked off every single narrative you've started thus far. Friendship. You'll do things differently this time. You're going to bring yourself to truly care about these creepy clown children, goddammit, even if it's the last thing you do. And with the way things are going, it very well could be. Their MO is oddly benign this time, a tickling machine. Unfortunately, it's a little difficult for you to talk to them through all the laughter. What are those noises they're making? I think they're trying to tell us something. Miraculously, the tickling stops. You wheeze, trying to catch your breath, hoping to God you haven't peed. You've managed not to wet yourself out of fear until now. It'd just be the worst to have have broken your streak due to laughing too hard. What is it about clowns and you divesting your body of waste? After assuring yourself that your underwear is blessedly dry, you ask, if they kill you, won't they just be alone again? How is that beneficial for anyone? They'll be bored and you'll be dead, which you would really rather not be. Their creeping saccharine smiles turn into matching expressions of confusion. Barzum puts a finger to her chin, cocking her head to one side as if deep in thought, almost like a puppy. Under any other circumstances, you might even consider it cute. It is cute. They're very small. You could pick them up. Just whoop, here we go. What are you talking about? We don't want to kill you. Maybe just cut you a little. You'll heal right back up again. Don't be such a wiggler. Some of the things they're trying to inflict on you would have definitely taken more than your regular human healing functions to recover from. Even though it would be really cool if we didn't have to do that. But, wait. You think back to Remele taking a whole ass club in her side and acting like it was no big. She doesn't think about higher blood colors being able to take more of a beating, too. Are the twins assuming that's the case for everyone? God, this is what happens when all the adults in a society go off planet and leave a bunch of zoo animals to bring up their kids. Trolls also solve most of their problems by killing each other. You can't discount that either, you suppose. So take a closer look at the twins. There isn't any malice in either of their faces. Their only emotion you can discern is idle curiosity. You decide to take that as encouragement. You explain that, no, you won't heal from being sliced open, or from an on-fire scuttlebuggy being flown at your head, because you're human, and humans heal differently from trolls. Well, differently than high-blood trolls, at least. You even use your best babysitter voice for good measure. You feel like you're giving a stern talking to about the importance of taking care of one's toys so that they don't break, because you kind of are. Sometimes, children need concepts explained to them. Don't mind me taking a drink. My tea is rapidly getting cold, and I want to finish it before it does that. Instead, you propose, why don't you be friends? You can all play together instead of you being the subject of their torment. They'll be able to play with you for way longer that way, too. They give you a strange look. Friends? What's that? Do people not agree to be their playmates very often? No. Usually everyone runs in the other direction. So we have to catch them. Or trick them. That explains a lot. You think you're beginning to understand. If they let you down, you can try and show them what you have in mind. They do. They actually free you. They turn all the lights on in the room, too, so you can finally see everything in it. They're just silly. That looks like Tavros, not gonna lie, the little knife board over here. But they've got a cute little lion, Lucis, in a cage. They're just babies. That says honk. It's bigger than you expected and set up like a circus tent. A wire is suspended along the ceiling. A Persian-sized target board rotates at dizzying speeds against the back wall. Juggling clubs, knives, scarves, and other props are piled across the floor. You recognize a few of the mechanisms they had inflicted on you before. There is so much blood on this circus tent. It looks blue? Baby cerulean? It's pure chaos. So, what else do they do with all this stuff? They're still staring at you as if they aren't quite sure how to deal with you engaging with them voluntarily. You're feeling pretty tentative yourself. This whole interaction seems incredibly precarious. You're afraid that if you make a misstep, you'll end up back in the tickling rack again. It isn't ours. We just found it when we got here. But it does look like a lot like what's in our hive. We can do shows. And stunts. All kinds of cool stuff. Fuck, even when they aren't threatening you, the way they talk in chorus like that freaks you out a little. In perfect unison, like they're one voice instead of two. You shake off your fears and suggest that they show you a little something. I've spoken before about how all trolls do be neurodivergent, but anyway, autistic twins. They seem to like that idea. Excitedly, they scurry over to the target board. One twin stands against it while the other picks up a handful of throwing knives. You're anxious. You don't exactly want them to throw that rough of each other instead of you, but Barzum just throws the knives in a graceful arc. They surround Baizli perfectly, barely missing him. You gasp, your mouth a perfect O. The twins seem pleased with themselves, laughing together like they're sharing a secret. If you think that's impressive, watch this. They execute a sick flip on a trapeze above the bed of swords, make a daring escape from one of the contraptions they trapped you in. They move similarly to how they speak, perfectly in tandem with each other. With the variety of sessions you've seen among your friends, it figures that it was only a matter of time until you met someone who made a hobby of risking their lives. It's not too out there compared to cage fighting, you suppose, or collecting saucy Eastern Altonian figures. You could have just escaped from the trap we put you in earlier, you know? Why didn't you? You laugh nervously. You haven't exactly had much practice. Maybe it would have been easier if you had someone else to help. You look at the two of them pointedly. You didn't even realize siblings were a thing among trolls, let alone twins. Listen. We'll have an Alternian thought in a second. Sibling? What's that? You know, someone you share a Lucis with. Someone who you hatch with in the same clutch. Are you phrasing that right? We do share a Lucis. We share everything. We didn't just hatch from the same clutch. We hatched from the same egg. We were going to be a single troll, but we split in two. Just our bodies, though. Our minds are still one. One person, two bodies. We're one and the same. Okay, maybe siblings aren't a thing in Alternia after all. Being literally the same person is quite a bit different from the human concept of twins or siblings. Somehow this leads to them telling you all about a number of exploits they had with some of the other kids in their neighborhood. One story led to another, and soon you're recounting some of your own adventures too. Okay, I love this little detail because it opens up so many interesting possibilities for like twins and siblings. Like just imagine fuchsia twins. I'll leave with that. I don't want to make this too long. So I add some stuff I gotta let you know at the end. They particularly love your attempt at giving an impression of Nikki, clapping and crowing as you go into a dramatic power stance and flex your flimsy muscles. You can't help but feel a little proud of yourself. You feel like the guy who walked on Jurassic Park who walked into the Velociraptor den all, "Be chill, my dudes," and they actually listened to him. Besides, there's something great about making kids laugh. Even kids who were trying to murder you less than an hour ago. That's true. Honestly, I'm not always great with kids. I was a junior counselor for a summer camp when I was in high school. Uh, but it really is fun when you make a kid laugh. Especially if they were feeling kind of down, or sometimes at work, because one of my jobs is actually both my jobs I end up meeting kids, because one of them's at a fast food place and one of them's at a retail store, and just like having conversation with them, just talking, just letting them say stuff, engaging. I don't know, it's nice, I think, and it gives I don't know, I think it's nice to engage them. I think a lot of times kids don't get enough engagement, especially like in the case of like my retail job. It's like mom shopping and she's not really paying attention, and if you can give that kids that like a little bit of attention, just kind of engage them, it's really nice. Do I want to be a parent one day? Maybe. Maybe. You, my wife. I don't even have a girlfriend yet. I've never had a girlfriend. Sorry not to get personal on Hiveswap Friendsim. Whoops. The twins are in the middle of talking about a prank they'd played that they found hilarious, and that you've been trying not to grimace in horror at when you feel it. A certain change in the air. Didn't they mention that they had been stuck here? Did we? Yes, we have. When we try to go out the door, some sort of force pushes us back. You're the first other person we've seen since we got here. You have a hunch that might have changed. Why don't you all try that? Why don't you all try again? They look at you skeptically. If you want. It's not going to be any different, though. You just tell them to trust you. You look at the front door. The twins are crowding you from either side, clinging onto your arms and edging so close it's like they're trying to burrow into you. Ready? They nod. You push against the door. It opens and you breathe in the cool evening air. Not so fast. We've gotten this far before. But we won't be able to go any farther. You'll see. You take one step. Then another. As you look beyond the grounds of the house, you see things you hadn't when you first got here. Mountains in the distance. Other houses. Before, all you could see was shrubbery. There's a house over here. I just realized, up in the top corner. Top right corner. There's a little house up there. You pick up the pace. The house falls away behind you, disappearing into the fog. Whoa! You did it. You actually did it. We can finally leave. They swoop in to grab you, hugging you hard. The curving horns of their masks almost stab you in the cheek. These things are a bit of a hazard when their wearers only come up to about where your chest is. They keep talking before you can get a word in, pulling you forwards and shuffling you along between them. Looks like you were right. It wasn't just enough to save yourself. You had to save them, too. You don't know how, but the key to making this little patch of the universe obey the rules of reality once more was friendship all along. You should have seen your face. You were your gam-toothed terrified. You heave a sigh as their incessant giggling surrounds you like so many playful ghosts. Yes, you say. Very clever. They were the ones behind all this nonsense, weren't they? You started guessing somewhere towards the end. You wiggle your hands around vaguely. All the time stuff. They sure scared you, all right. No. That wasn't us. We were talking about the bloody walls and creepy sounds. None of that was real. That was us. That was all chuckle voodoos. We're the best chuckle voodoos. We got you so good. They both bounce beside you excitedly. You blink down at them. You have no idea what the heck a chuckle voodoos are. You can only guess it's some sort of illusionary thing. So they didn't have anything to do with the time messing up, folding in on itself? No. We told you. We've been trying to get out of that stupid house for wipes. Maybe in a parody. Did you really think that was our hive? Our place is so much cooler than that dump. Visit their actual hive. You have their reservations about that, but you can't put it in within you to say no as they eagerly pull you along, one twig tugging at your hand, the other looping an arm in yours. Big sip of tea. You look back at the house one last time. You have no clue whether the twins are lying or if they're telling the truth, what really caused what's happened here. But right now, you're content enough knowing that you'll never have to see this place ever again. Do you want to understand? No. Fuck off, Doc Scratch. We'll get to him next episode. That was that one. I do love the twins. I think they're cute. My rule seems to be I only like clowns if they are small. Yeah, next episode is the last official episode of the series. We'll be doing Doc Scratch and the epilogue of this one, not the Homestuck epilogues. I don't want to acknowledge them. Excuse me. Yeah, I'll probably have some more information. I'm going to try to iron out. Excuse me. I have to go take care of some stuff, and my lunch is coming before I record the Doc Scratch episode. But I will try to iron out some Pesterquest stuff. In the meantime, I will let you know what the schedule is going to be when I come back. I hope you have a great day, or whatever time it is. If you want more content from me between these episodes, go read my fanfic. It's good. I know I promo it a lot, but I generally put a lot of time into it. So chapters currently update about once a month. I'm trying to make them a little bit faster. So that I can get more content to you. You can join the Discord, you get previews, extra content, and some fun emojis. I figured I'd just make a proper pitch before the end, you know? So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!